So many people in the modern generation struggle with focus, discipline, and dedication. The average screen time in the United States among young adults is about 8 hours per day. If you're 18 and have the average life expectancy of 79, then you are on track to spend over 20 years on your phone before you die. How crazy is that? We spend hours a day consuming short form content and then self diagnose ADHD because we can't focus. We are literally destroying our brains from the inside out. Time management is genuinely a dead skill. Males below age 25 in the United States on average have already had 5 or 6 jobs, which means if they started work at 14, at best they're at a new job once every 2 years. We can't seem to lock down a source of income. As of early 2026, 6 out of 10 employers reported firing new Gen Z hires within just a few months. But why is this happening? We're living fake lives vicariously through a screen more than half of our time awake on average, but that's not the only thing destroying us. Let's take a look at some of the bad habits that Gen Z is especially guilty of. The first and foremost obvious bad habit is screen time. I already went over that the average person is going to be on their phone for 20 years before they die, but stop and think about the psychological effects. Firstly, scrolling kills your sense of fulfillment. Every 10 seconds you're flooded with new, false dopamine, but your brain doesn't know the difference. There are literally neuroscientists and psychologists whose entire job is to make these algorithms as addicting as possible, and it works on all of us. They get you scrolling, and once you do, it's hard to stop. You say you're just going to scroll for 5 minutes, but you end up losing an hour, and this is routine. And also, think about the downsides from a social aspect. You see someone living your dream life. Fancy car, nice house, traveling all the time, great physique, whatever it may be. You see these styles of content all the time, and it seems like 1 in 10 people are living your dream life. This is not the case. The algorithm only pushes what people engage with, so of course it will push the video about the top 0.1% lifestyle because everyone stops their scroll to watch. What you don't see are the thousands of accounts of just normal people. You don't see the failures and the people who gave up. All you see is someone who has your dream, and you know that you don't. Oftentimes, these people are also older than you and sometimes just straight up lie about their lifestyle or are given it on a silver platter. Those pictures were taken on a Florida beach, not one in Guam. That car is a rental. The watch is fake. Don't believe everything you see on social media. It's genuinely such a bad influence on your life for the most part. I would also argue that the move towards streaming services and premium ad-free subscriptions like YouTube have helped ruin Gen Z's attention span. Think about it. Our parents had to watch shows once a week as they premiered or they missed that episode. Nowadays, you can sit down and knock out an entire season of a show in literally one sitting. The average American, on top of the 8 hours of screen time, also watches TV either passively or actively for around 4 hours a day. If we're watching a regular sitcom with 22-minute episodes, that's almost a dozen episodes in one singular day. Compare that to the once a week of our parents' generation, and you're beginning to see where the divide is. In the time it took between episodes to air back in the day, the average American nowadays will have already consumed over 75 episodes of the same length show. This isn't even touching on that you can watch all of them majority ad-free. Back in the day, there were commercial breaks throughout the show. 8 to 9 minutes of commercials per 30-minute slot, and we've lost all of that, further streamlining the binging of these shows. The average attention span in the 1980s was right around 20 minutes, conveniently the length of an average sitcom episode. In recent years, it has fallen down all the way to 47 seconds. That is a 96% decrease in attention span in only 40 years. This is why the majority of Gen Z will never become rich. They will never escape the 9-to-5 rat race they hear about online. Most people say they're going to do all the things they see on social media to become successful, but they don't end up doing it because they can't focus and they quit. They're going to start the channel or make online goods or drop ship the trending item, but as soon as it doesn't work, they drop it. Why is this? Our generation has been raised for the most part in a society of instant gratification. Parents have become sort of soft out of fear of judgment. We've been raised on screens, we've never had a major incident in our lifetime except for COVID, and that only accelerated these problems that I'm talking about. When you're young and you press a button on your iPad game, you get instant visual feedback. When you ask mom and dad for something, oftentimes they give it to you. I know not everyone grew up like this, myself included, but I see so many parents that genuinely baffle me with how lenient or just straight up soft they are with their kids. People also reward themselves for doing less now. They'll say, oh, I got 30 minutes of work done, I'm gonna sit down and scroll for an hour. Or they'll say, oh, I did a workout, let me go get a burger. It's a productivity trap. No wonder it's a generation full of losers. We can't do anything without gratifying ourselves. We need to learn to stay with it for the long haul because instant gratification is unhealthy. The gratification often comes later at the end of something truly amazing. The average age of a first-time employee in Gen Z is anywhere from 16 to 19 years old, depending on living circumstances. In the generations before us, that number was closer to 14 or 15. I personally started work at 14, the summer before my freshman year in high school. It was an awful job, but I do genuinely believe that most of Gen Z would benefit from working what I call a slop job, which is what this literally was. I worked at Dairy Queen for barely above minimum wage for a whole summer, and that experience alone was enough to make me realize how easy it is to be a loser nowadays. People will judge you less for being a manager at Wendy's than posting on social media. I literally scrubbed toilets and packaged burgers for 25 hours a week for 12 weeks. It was not enjoyable. It's all a trap, and why this generation will be stuck. But how do we fix this? With so many glaring issues, you would think it's game over, but it's really not. There are clearly still people who have reached success in our generation. They've even used the systems that keep us all stuck to help them escape and find financial freedom. I'm 18 years old, so I'm a new adult in Gen Z, and here are some of the things that I personally do to help me avoid the pitfalls that are common in this generation. First up is environment setting. This is the most effective habit I've started compared to how easy it is to do. It's as simple as, if you're there to do something, do that thing. You wouldn't go to the gym to write an essay, would you? You wouldn't go to a library to get a workout. So why scroll in the area that you work? Once you separate your activities into zones, you will literally double your productivity. I personally have a desk with an office chair and a separate beanbag chair in my bedroom. I do still live with my parents as I just graduated high school, but that's my current living situation. The office chair is for deep work like scripting, game development, editing long-form content, or financial planning. The beanbag chair is for semi-productivity like editing short forms for my fitness page and things like that. If I sit in my beanbag chair with my feet up on the office chair, that usually means it's lazy time. This can also help you fall asleep faster. For the past few months, my bed has been a no-phone area, and it's helped my sleep out tremendously. And if I'm on my phone while I'm on my bed, I try to sit up, that way when I'm laying down in my bed, my body knows it's sleep time. I'll admit I've slacked off in recent weeks, but I'm calling myself out here so that I actually fix it. I seriously believe this will help you so much if you just designate your areas for things. It will literally double your productivity. It did for me. And this gets more effective if you're living on your own, because you now have your own rooms for these separate things. Bedroom for sleep, living room for lazy time, office for work. Literally ideal conditions for environment setting. Don't cross-contaminate the areas of productivity with the lazy activities. If you don't have the ability to set good environments, or you want another way to be even more productive, then you'll enjoy this next point. Time blocking. Literally set aside time each day where you will not pick up your phone, will not watch TV, will not turn on YouTube, will not listen to music, will not do anything unproductive. Let people know, hey, I am busy during this time, so don't expect a response if you're that worried about texting people back. This could be your girlfriend, your friend, maybe your parents, whoever. It doesn't matter. Let them know. And if they can't let you have a few hours a day to pursue your goals and improve yourself, maybe you need to reevaluate your relationship with them instead of their reaction to you. Take an hour in the morning, an hour at night. Do dedicated work and work only. You can get so much more done if you let yourself get in the zone and enter flow state instead of haphazardly trying to respond to messages and work at the same time. You'll get more done and get it done quicker, ultimately saving you time and effort, which is money in this economy. Why give 40% to one task, 40% to the other, and 20% to switching between them across 2 hours when you could just give 100% to each individual thing that you're doing for an hour each? It's literally more time in the same amount of time. It is just productivity. I personally set aside about 1 to 2 hours of work and work only per day, and then I can work in the background while I relax for the rest of the evening. I avoid going on my phone, I avoid watching things, and I avoid procrastinating during this time. That being said, it's a lot easier to talk about not going on your phone than it is to actually do it. So how can we make this habit easier? Step 1 is to make your phone literally as boring as possible. Simple home screen, gray apps, maybe even just text for your app icons. Make your smartphone into a dumb phone. It's as simple as that. You won't want to go on it if it's not stimulating. Also, setting time limits or using apps that make you wait a second before opening your social medias can help you reflect and make you not actually want to go into it. That helps a ton. I personally have a simple grayscale home screen with a Bible verse, grayscale apps, and time limits on Instagram and YouTube Shorts to remind me to get off of them. Again, in recent weeks, I've been doing a bad job of sticking to this, but I'm going to call myself out here again. Also, set goals for yourself. My personal goal is less than 20 minutes of scrolling per day, which I've hit in the past for a week or two, but I want to sustain it long term. I'm not trying to tell you what to do or act like I'm better than you. I'm only human. That's why I point out these mistakes, so that you know that you can relate to me on a very human level, because I'm not perfect and I still scroll. So how will this affect your work? You'll literally be able to focus more and for longer. You'll be more productive in less time, and your brain will actually be healthier if you stop consuming the false dopamine. If you unplug for just a little, you will be astounded at how boring it actually is. Do a dopamine detox. Don't go on Instagram for a week. Go outside and do something, or work towards your goals. It is so much more gratifying to actually accomplish something than to get a hit of fake dopamine every 15 seconds. And when you come back, you'll realize how boring and non-stimulating the algorithm really is. It is so worth it, I promise. With that being said, what are some of the things that you personally do to help with productivity? Let me know in the comments down below, and drop any questions if you have them there as well. Thank you to everyone who made it this far in the video. Consider giving it a like and maybe subscribing. My goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers and to get monetized by YouTube by the end of this year, so if you could help, it would mean more than you might think. Thank you so much for watching. We'll chat again very soon. Bye-bye.